गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबको स्वागत है। आज हम देखने वाले हैं पाकिस्तान इन टर्मोइल। और पाकिस्तान इन टर्मोइल के लिए हमारे साथ हैं जनरल राजीव नारायणन। वेलकम राजीव, गुड इवनिंग।
Thank you, sir.
And thanks for accepting this request of mine
Sir,
to come and discuss
anything for you.
Pakistan.
Thank you so much.
Oh no,
No, no.
actually मैं सबको
It's a
बताना
pleasure
चाहता
to
हूँ।
be on your panel
Yeah,
and
thank
have
you
an
so much.
informal sort of a discussion, bounce
Yeah,
ideas of each other.
yeah. The way things are going in Pakistan, a lot of things have to be bounced.
वो तो काफी वहां से तो काफी बाउंसर आ रहे हैं.
Bouncers are रहे हैं. And you need a lot of helmets also. खैर, आज के दिन हमने करना था चाइना चैलेंज के ऊपर और एलएसी के ऊपर क्या हो रहा है वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह। पर जो स्थिति बना है अभी पाकिस्तान में कल शाम से, कल दोपहर से, तो मैंने सोचा आज पाकिस्तान के ऊपर हम कंसंट्रेट करें और देखें ये कहाँ जा रहा है ये देश। राइट, इसका मैं थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड देता हूँ इससे पहले कि मैं कुछ अहम सवाल नारायणन को पोज करूं और उनका विचार लूं और मैं भी अपना विचार दूंगा कि हमने ये स्थिति एक्चुअली वी फोरसॉ समथिंग। इसीलिए पिछले साल मैंने एक हफ्ता स्पेंड किया और एक हफ्ते में पाकिस्तान आर्मी, यही विषय, इमरान खान का रिटर्न, उनका बैटल ग्राउंड स्टेट होना, कहाँ पाकिस्तान जा रहा है, उसके अंदर कितना रेडिकलिज्म है, उनका इकोनॉमी, ये सब एक सीरीज में विश्लेषण किया 7 दिन लगातार। और वो 7 वीडियो में आज एक पहले मैंने जारी किया है, कल भी मैं जारी करूंगा और अगले इस हफ्ता दोबारा एडिटेड वर्जन्स में उसको जारी करूंगा ताकि आपको पूरा दोबारा रिफ्रेश हो जाए कि ये पाकिस्तान में हो क्या रहा है। क्योंकि अगर हम सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में जो हो रहा है वो एक पॉलिटिकल और आज के नजरिया से देखेंगे तो हम गलत साबित हो जाएंगे। राइट, तो आई पुट दिस, प्लीज सी इट अगेन, आपको रिफ्रेश होगा। अगर नहीं तो आप दोबारा गना शॉट में जा सकते हो। कासा डायलॉग्स का प्लेलिस्ट है, उसके अंदर वो सारे वीडियो हैं, उसमें क्वेश्चन आंसर सहित आप देख सकते हो, आप रिफ्रेश कर सकते हो। और बहुत चीजें हैं जो हमने उसमें बात किया, आपको आपका याददाश्त ताजा हो जाएगा। खैर, आज पिछले जो 24 घंटे या 30 घंटे का जो एक्शन हुआ है पाकिस्तान के अंदर, वो तो सबको पता है। सबको पता है इमरान खान जब गए थे उनका अरेस्ट हो गया, वो आज 8 दिन के लिए रिमांड हो गए। पीटीआई के जितने लीडर हैं उनको पकड़ के उनको भी अंदर कर रहे हैं, ये सब सबको पता है। वहां दंगा मच गया, लोग आर्मी इंस्टीट्यूशंस और एस्टेब्लिशमेंट्स के ऊपर ही दबाव बोल रहे हैं और दंगा चल रहा है, सब कुछ ये तो पता है हमें। पर आज हमारा मकसद वो नहीं है, हमारा मकसद इसके आगे देखना है और हमारा मकसद देखना है कि इंडिया के लिए क्या असर पड़ेगा और हमारा भारत के अंदर हमारा क्या रवैया होना है, वो मेरे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो इसमें मेरा पहला सवाल और जिसके ऊपर हम बात करेंगे और पहला मुद्दा है, ये क्यों हुआ है, राइट? और इसका जो परिणाम क्या ये देखा गया था या नहीं देखा गया था? सो इन इंग्लिश इफ आई से, व्हाई हैज दिस हैपेंड? आर दिस आउटकम्स इंटेंडेड और अनइंटेंडेड? राजीव, just take off on it and then we can discuss. And then after that we'll see the outcomes.
To my understanding, this happened now, primarily because it was coming out that the government or the deep state and the judiciary were coming head on.
ये थोड़ा हिंदी में बोल लीजिए ताकि एवरीवन कैन।
ये इसलिए हुआ, जो मैं कह रहा था कि अभी क्यों हो रहा था, पंजाब में इलेक्शंस को लेकर खास करके जो डीप स्टेट है पाकिस्तान का और जो गवर्नमेंट इन पावर है आज का, डायरेक्ट कॉन्फ्रंटेशन हो रहा था विद जुडिशरी। जुडिशरी ने डेट दे दिया पंजाब के इलेक्शन के लिए कि इस तारीख को होना। and they have been giving affidavits कि नहीं, no we can't, we have a problem, ये दिक्कत है, वो दिक्कत है, यहाँ तक कि इंडिया और रॉ को भी ब्लेम कर दिया था कि सिचुएशन खराब है, एफिडेविट तक दे दिया था, बट द जुडिशरी डिडंट बच, वो हिले नहीं है। और मेरा अंदाज़ा ये है कि जो छोटा सा इंसिडेंट इन्होंने किया था साउथ ऑफ पीर पंजाल में, एक्सपेक्ट किया था कि इंडिया शायद स्ट्रांगली रिएक्ट करेगा तो बिल्ड अ केस कि यार देखो ये हो रहा है। अब ये सब तो हुआ नहीं। सो अब इन्होंने, मेरे अंदाजे से आर्मी ने डिटेल्ड प्लानिंग किया था इसको करने के लिए। दैट इज वाई लास्ट मिनट में इस्लामाबाद पुलिस को चेंज करके रेंजर्स को लेके आए,
लगा दिया। या दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट।
जो होम मिनिस्टर था इनका, इंटीरियर मिनिस्टर राणा सनाउल्लाह, लास्ट मिनट में उसने इस्लामाबाद, और इस्लामाबाद पुलिस वहां थी हाई कोर्ट में जहां पे इसका बायोमेट्रिक्स चल रहा था। सो ये चेंज हुआ था। क्या इन्होंने ये अंदाजा लगाया था? अंदाजा तो इन्होंने लगा रखा होगा कि कुछ ना कुछ होगा, बट इतने बड़े तादाद में पैन पाकिस्तान होगा ये मेरे को नहीं लगता कि इन्होंने अंदाजा लगाया था, क्योंकि सारे पीटीआई वाले नहीं थे। काफी लोग जिसको खुंदक में थे वो भी निकल के आए हैं, बिकॉज लाखों के लोग हर एक शहर में निकल के आ गए। इतने तो पीटीआई के रजिस्टर्ड फॉलोअर्स ही नहीं होंगे, उनके मेंबर्स ही नहीं होंगे इतने रजिस्टर्ड। इसीलिए मेरा ये अंदाजा है, क्यों मैं कह रहा हूँ प्लान्ड है। कैंटोनमेंट जैसे लाहौर का कैंटोनमेंट आप देख लो, जीएचक्यू जिस दरवाजे के थ्रू वो गए थे, साइड दरवाजा था, खाली था, कोई गार्ड नहीं था वहां पे। जिस इंस्टीट्यूशन के अंदर जाके लाहौर में तोड़ताड़ किया था, कह रहे थे कोर कमांडर का घर है, अभी निकल के आ रहे नहीं, वीआईपी गेस्ट रूम था, जो भी था, एक ही आदमी खड़ा था वहां पे, और कोई, उन्होंने जो तोड़ताड़ किया और निकल गए। इन्होंने सोचा होगा कि भड़ास निकाल देंगे थोड़ा, ये ज्यादा जो लोग नहीं होंगे, काबू आ जाएंगे। पहली बार आई एम हियरिंग ऑफ अ होल स्टेट, कंप्लीट प्रोविंस बीइंग पुट अंडर कर्फ्यू। आप डिस्ट्रिक्ट का बात कर लेते हो, शहर का बात कर लेते हो, जंगा, ये पूरा पंजाब प्रोविंस को इन्होंने कर्फ्यू में डाल दिया है। एंड कोई अंदर बाहर नहीं जाएगा एक्सेप्ट फॉर एसेंशियल सर्विस। पंजाब प्रोविंस को छोड़ के भी कोई बाहर नहीं जा सकता है। एंड क्योंकि इस्लामाबाद पंजाब पुलिस विल नॉट बी एबल टू हैंडल इट, आर्मी को बुलाया, फॉरेन आर्मी डिप्लॉय भी हो गई है। उसी जगह खैबर पख्तूनख्वा ने आर्मी को बुलाया, अभी सोच रहे हैं इंडस के परे। तो इंटरेस्ट पता लग जाता है इनका कि किधर है, कि पंजाब को इनको कंट्रोल करना है। कराची ने अभी तक बुलाया नहीं है, आई थिंक सिंध भी बुला लेगा फौज को, सिंध ने बुलाया नहीं है। तो ये इन्होंने सोचा तो था, दे थॉट दैट दे विल डू इट, बट आई डोंट थिंक दे थॉट दैट द रिएक्शंस वुड बिकम सो वायलेंट। लकीली टच वुड अभी तक इनके पास हथियार नहीं आए हैं। हथियारों की कोई कमी नहीं है पाकिस्तान में, स्मॉल आर्म्स की कोई कमी नहीं है पाकिस्तान में,
इसमें डाउट ही नहीं है हमें।
हथियार अभी इन्होंने निकाला नहीं है। और अगर फायरिंग वायरिंग सब होना शुरू हो जाए, थोड़ा थोड़ा छुटपुट रूप में हुआ है, लिटिल बिट हियर एंड देयर, some firing has taken place, but if the firing opens up and the other side also gets into, then the escalation matrix control will be very very difficult for the Pak army, क्योंकि ये एक ऐसा सिचुएशन है जो पाकिस्तान आर्मी ने कभी जिंदगी में देखा नहीं है,
देखा नहीं और सोचा भी नहीं होगा,
देखा नहीं।
तो आपने जो बताया है कि ये एक प्लान्ड ऑपरेशन था, क्लियर प्लान्ड ऑपरेशन, प्री प्लान्ड ऑपरेशन। जब इनको पता चला कि ये जुडिशियल रूट में ये कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं, उन्होंने एक केस बना दिया। जैसे जो केस इमरान खान के साथ बनाया, वो किसी के अगेंस्ट बना सकते हैं पाकिस्तान में,
तो सबके अगेंस्ट, सारे पिछले प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स को ऐसे ही निकाला है,
निकाला है। और खैर वो पैसा भी ऐसे ही लूटते हैं, तो किसी के अगेंस्ट आप बना सकते हो। राइट, सो प्लान्ड, क्योंकि इनको वहां से they were not making any headway, so they used this, they made a plan to keep Imran Khan out. and they made a plan to keep Imran Khan out permanently because they felt that the way Imran Khan was going, he was beyond control. If he was allowed to continue like this, their entire the army and the PDM, that is the PPP and PML, were at risk. Right? It's also a matter of this thing, and of course, ये पहली बार हम देख रहे हैं कि एक पॉलिटिशियन डायरेक्टली आर्मी के ऊपर निशाना ले रहा है. आज तक ये हुआ नहीं जिस तरीके से ये आया है. राइट, एंड लाइक यू सेड, ये जितने आउटकम्स हैं वो अनइंटेंडेड आउटकम्स हैं, एंड आई थिंक इट माइट गो बियॉन्ड देयर कंट्रोल. ओके, सो इफ थिंग्स गो बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल, राइट, do you think the army can step in and take stage a coup or continue, or let me before you this thing could this thing, given the fact that there are reports of discontent and factionalism within the army. Veterans don't go see eye to eye with serving people. The seniors and the juniors, repeatedly it's coming out that there's a rift. Right, then even to the extent कि ये families, officers के families of जवान्स वगैरह, उनके family भी serving people के against हैं. क्या पाकिस्तान आर्मी के अंदर इतना strength है कि इसको to take over the nation?
Sir, I have my doubts whether directly they will like to come for a coup or go into martial law. It's a big no-no. वैसे ही पैसे के वांदे हैं, and if they do this kind of a thing, तो US and West से तो कोई पैसा आएगा नहीं, चाइना तो पैसा देने नहीं वाला, and they'll go down the drain. And as it is, the market value today, when you're seeing the way people are targeting is down. They can't do
डॉलर भी गिर गया.
हाँ, वैसे ही गिर गया और गिर जाएगा, क्योंकि और कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे.
288 तक चला गया, 288 तक चला गया आज के दिन.
अभी there are certain things I would just analyze a little कि ये पहले करते क्या थे. पहले तो coup हो जाता था, उसके कोई दिक्कत नहीं था. लेट 80s में एक हल्का सा शिफ्ट आया, 80s 90s में, वेयर जैसे पीपीपी को हटा रहे थे, जैसे जब पहली बार बेनजीर को हटा रहे थे, तो इन्होंने आईएसआई ने पार्टी खड़ा किया था, इत्तेहादी जमहूरी इस्लामिक जमहूरी इत्तेहाद, जिसका उन्होंने नवाज शरीफ को बनाया, जिसके थ्रू नवाज शरीफ आया. उसके बाद फिर पीएमएल बना, फिर पीएमएल को तोड़ा, पीपीपी को तोड़ने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, उतना हुआ नहीं. सो अभी दो हैं. फिर इन्होंने इसीलिए 2014 के ऑनवर्ड्स इन्होंने ये पीटीआई बनवाया इमरान का. सो इसी तरह से मैं को अभी जो नजर आ रहा है, व्हेन यू सी नाउ, लाइक इफ यू लुक एट द वीडियो ऑफ इमरान खान which was released, every time jab arrest ka aata hai, he makes a video.
He releases one,
which he releases. Now in this video he is calling for jihad. Jihad means violence, fight. But what are Fawad Chaudhary and apna Shah Mahmood Qureshi saying? Non-violent. Now there is a clear distinction between
it might be a
what
game.
Imran Khan is saying and what these, and they are distancing themselves from the violence.
No, this might be a game plan.
Correct, sir. No, I'll give you why I am saying कि भाई ये फूट हो सकता है, because ये लोग शाह महमूद कुरैशी, फवाद चौधरी, ये किसी पार्टी के नहीं है.
वो तो
इधर आयाराम गयाराम्स, दे लुक आफ्टर देमसेल्व्स. जिधर आर्मी ने बोला स्विंग करने के लिए, वो स्विंग कर जाएंगे. एंड रिमेंबर सर, before he was arrested, the previous day PTI and PMD, जो PPP और PMLL का
PDM गठबंधन
combination है, they were having secret talks where Fawad Chaudhary was there, our man Imran was not there. What has been discussed? What has been discussed there? That has not come out.
So they might be trying to break up PTI, right?
To isolate Imran.
And
since
then
these players are already, कोई PPP के था, कोई PML से था, टूट के PTI में आया, and Faiz Hamid is under house arrest.
Yes.
So he is incommunicado.
So what you आप क्या बोल रहे हो कि इनको to take over the nation in a coup or under martial law is very difficult.
Yes.
मुश्किल है, right? So they are trying to find a political solution to break PTI.
ब्रेक एंड इन द मीन टाइम अगर जरूरत चाहिए, टाइम चाहिए, तो क्रिएट एन इमरजेंसी.
हाँ, so there is a
So there is a
possibility.
there is the political phase of emergency, and the
Yeah,
army is behind.
yeah. So that means, so you could see in days to come some dissent in the PTI. That's option, right? I might not agree with what you're saying, but let's go with it. Okay. So I mean, create dissent, create some breakup of the PTI, some kind of rift, declare an emergency. Under the emergency, deploy the army, right? Nominally deploy the army and strengthen the PDM government and let it run. And without themselves getting into the
Getting it.
thing.
And this, I'm saying, will happen seeing how the violence unfolds.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you. So, okay. Let me give a variation to this. Yeah. Let me give a variation to this. I go with you. You given the basic thing, let me give a variation. The variation is they could wait till a situation comes where things are really going bad and then get सहमति from outsiders, because ये जो plan बना है, this couldn't have been made without the US and Chinese. Okay, right? After all, याद करना, हमें याद रखना चाहिए कि the Chinese foreign minister वहीं यहाँ SCO मीट के बाद फौरन वहां गया, उसके अगले दिन बात करके भाग गया. ये तो बात हुआ होगा और अमेरिका को भी साथ लिया होगा, ये गल्फ कंट्रीज को भी साथ लिया होगा कि भैया ये अगर नहीं होता तो मुश्किल है हमें. Okay, so there is some this thing. So if the situation goes out of hand, along with the emergency, they have an option to be invited into martial law.
Martial law,
right? Like it used to happen. So
could take that path.
Yeah. So the path ahead is A, continue in this. If it comes under control, happy. If not, emergency. If not, martial law. So all these three options are open. We don't know where these three are going. Okay, so we leave it at that. इमरान खान अभी जेल में भेज दिया इन्होंने 8 दिन के लिए, आगे बात देखेंगे क्या होगा. इसके साथ क्या ऑप्शंस है, आप क्या सोचता है आपको? सॉरी, मैं सबको बताना चाहता हूं, आज आपको हम कोई क्या आइडियल सॉल्यूशन नहीं दे रहे, हम ऑप्शंस जनरेट कर रहे हैं, सोच, राइट? सो आप या प्लीज, सॉरी, कैरी ऑन.
एक सबसे पहले तो the first target they are going to do is ensure that he never gets out of jail now.
Okay.
तो वो तो करेंगे and get him disqualified, so that solves out the problem. Despite that, he is a hot potato. तो करना क्या है? It is not so easy like मुशर्रफ और नवाज शरीफ की उसको आप exile में भेज दो. So, would you like to send him to some secure place in exile and then quietly, slowly have him eliminated there, so that he doesn't exist? But where is the moot point? Would they keep him in this secure jail? Already his lawyer and his aide have already said he has a heart problem, and that is my biggest surprise. That आज तक जिंदगी में जिसको हार्ट प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी,
वो तो करेगा. नहीं, देखिए, वो सब तो होगा, उसका हार्ट प्रॉब्लम होगा, न्यूरो प्रॉब्लम होगा.
That gives an opportunity to the government also now.
Yeah.
Whichever is there, how to eliminate him. He died of heart attack.
नहीं, वो ठीक है, पर बात ये है कि what you are saying is he can be eliminated, he can be kept indefinitely in a jail. है कि नहीं? Indefinitely in a jail.
Or he may be in house arrest abroad. In a favorable country, and especially either in Dubai or Saudi Arabia.
Okay. So there's also a chance that he could be under public pressure, he could be released.
Which is the last option. And everything goes out of hand, they can do nothing, so they will have to release him. Okay. Let's see what इसका परिणाम क्या होगा. अगर
3 ऑप्शन है.
मेरे अंदाजे से छोड़ना आर्मी के लिए ऑप्शन नहीं है.
नहीं ऑप्शन नहीं, आप बात यह है कि जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ ऑप्शन नहीं है, बट व्हाट इफ दे आर फोर्स्ड टू डू इट?
हाँ,
so let's discuss it.
Correct, because the problem is that then the army goes on the back foot, and thereafter they are forever back in the barracks, and their hold on the country goes. Hold on the country goes.
It's a
and lot of heads will roll.
Yeah.
A lot of heads will roll. वो छोड़ेगा नहीं. इमरान खान
किसी को नहीं छोड़ेगा.
वो छोड़ेगा नहीं. So जितने heads हैं सारे roll होंगे, and when I say roll means literally roll.
Yeah. I agree with you. So that will be a tectonic shift which the army will not agree to.
Will not.
It cannot take a risk. तो रहता है बाकी दो ऑप्शन, या उसको एलिमिनेट कर दो, या उसको कहीं जेल जूल में बोल दो, एक्साइल कुछ कर दो.
I think it is the second option. उसको लंबा जेल में रखो, हार्ट प्रॉब्लम्स को बढ़ाते चले जाओ, एंड क्वाइटली
एलिमिनेट करो. क्वाइटली एलिमिनेट नहीं होगा. एलिमिनेट होगा तो वो बड़ा एलिमिनेट होगा और उसका कहीं पुतला भी बन जाएगा.
नहीं, because they get time to build up a case of him having a heart problem.
नहीं, वो खैर वो हो सकता है, ठीक है, बट बात यह है कि उसका एलिमिनेशन या keeping him alive, both have problems. Because keeping him alive, you make a Mujibur Rahman out of him. Till such time he is not eliminated, he is Mujibur Rahman, revisited, redux. So
that's why I felt that they will send him out of the country, and in Arab country who will be amenable to keep him under house arrest.
जो आप बोल रहे हो, इनको भी प्रॉब्लम है कि कौन सा अरब कंट्री इसको लेगा.
I say number one Saudi Arabia, because if you remember when they were going for the UN this thing, he insulted the FBS and उसका तो जहाज वापस मंगवा लिया था, and he was going in MBS का जहाज, and he called the aircraft back when he was taking out from.
देखिए बात यह है कि ये सब आप जो बोल रहे हो, ये options हैं.
And these are all with blessings of the US.
Yeah, and China. And
the blessings of US.
नहीं,
आज की तारीख में सर चाइना तो yes, but आज के तारीख में I feel US is more important, because पैसे इसने IMF से लेने हैं. IMF तो इंडियन चेयरमैन और नो चेयरमैन, वो तो US जब तक नहीं बोलेगा आएगा नहीं पैसा इसको.
तो ये बात यह है कि ये नहीं, इसमें हमने पहले तय कर लिया कि ये जितना जो भी हो रहा है ये बिना
तीनों के ब्लेसिंग्स के साथ.
हाँ, तीनों के ब्लेसिंग, इसके बेनिफैक्टर्स गल्फ, सऊदी, चाइना एंड यूएसए, सब इसमें मेल मिलाप है. इसके बिना हो नहीं सकता. मेरा एक ही ये है जो ऑप्शन है, जिस तरीके से लोग बाहर निकल के आए हैं, सड़क पे उतर के आए हैं, इसको एलिमिनेट करना भी उतना आसान नहीं होगा, बड़ा टाइम लगेगा.
इतना जल्दी करेंगे नहीं ना सर उसको.
ना,
अगर धीरे 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 बिल्डअप करके 8-10 साल में इसको एलिमिनेट कर दो, पीपल वुड हैव फॉरगॉटन.
नहीं, आई डोंट थिंक इट्स सो इजी, क्योंकि आई मीन जिस तरीके से अगर आप देखो तो जिस तरीके से मुजीबुर रहमान का अगर आप केस देखेंगे, उसको डाल दिया अंदर और बांग्लादेश बना थ्रू अ लीडरलेस प्रोसीजर. See, the problem with anyone in jail, you take history. Anyone in jail has sustained movements from jail, when if he's alive. Even in death, it sometimes goes. Look at Mandela. For 21 years, he was in jail, right? Still, that movement continued. The African National Congress. You look at Mujibur Rahman. For over a year, he was in jail, right? And the Pakistan establishment at that time, the West Pakistan establishment, did not dare to finish him off. So in this case also, the consequences, I mean, I'm just giving you, I'm opening up the Pandora's box. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
His movement is what actually. So if you take Mandela, he had the backing of all the people there because they were fighting against the apartheid.
Yeah.
Here, when you look at Mujibur Rahman, he was fighting for the. Actually, he had won the elections.
Yeah,
and he should have been the prime minister of then Pakistan, which Bhutto didn't want.
Yeah,
okay, sir. So there was a whole movement available of the Bengali culture which was under threat and everything
या
there. इसका क्या है?
देखिए बात यह है कि
I call him,
अब
he is a Mr. U-turn. कभी किसी को बोल देगा कि ये अच्छा है, अगले दिन यू टर्न करके बोलेगा नहीं ये सबसे गंदा है. He has a
बात यह है,
charismatic figure where he can talk, but if he is not present, then how does he carry the movement?
see the point is this, Rajiv. I go with you. I go with that's one line of thought. That's one line of thought. If he's not there and he's seen to be eliminated, the people of Pakistan are anywhere not happy
No,
with
they're not.
the army, with the army or the PDM, because what he has done is he has established to the people, whether right or wrong, that this government threw him out, right? Threw him out, and then came through the back door. So that problem is there, right? So these two issues are there.
The
So
only issue
within
which
this,
I had is because the other people who are there in the front line today, uh, इंजीनियर अपना उनका कौन है वो राशिद,
Rashid, yeah,
शाह महमूद कुरैशी, फवाद चौधरी, ये किसी के नहीं है. So if he's inside, who? That's why I was asking if he's inside, who runs the movement for him, whatever he is wanting to do.
no, I'm not.
Because these people can turn sides anyway.
Yeah, I'm not for one moment saying that can't happen.
No,
What you're saying?
what I'm saying is it's going to be difficult for him.
Yeah, the point
And
is,
if he is kept incommunicado, it becomes even more difficult.
no, I'm not. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but we are discussing options.
Yes. Option exists.
Or
Option exists that maybe there might be somebody else inside whom we don't know who will come out.
Who will come out? Right, we don't know. That's why they've rounded up that Asad Umar. Asad Umar is quite a.
Asad Umar is gone. The ex-Punjab governor is also gone. Sheikh अपना शाह महमूद कुरैशी को भी अंदर कर दिया. I am sure by now as we are talking, Fawad Chaudhry will also be inside.
Not only that, ये local level leaders को भी लपेट देंगे.
More than 1,000 to exit is last 5:30 when I saw more than 1,000 of their functionaries are already in jail.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They were arrested.
Yeah. So the thing is that whichever way you look, all three options are open. All three options are open as of the way I look at it.
And I will add, sir, none of the options augurs well for Pakistan.
Pakistan. Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring out. Actually, you.
जो हो जाए.
Yeah.
Situation तो बद से बदतर ही होते जा रहा है.
But
तो वही होना है.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't matter whether Imran Khan is at the helm or not, whether the army continues or not. आप जिस तरीके से आप देखेंगे वो ऑप्शन पाकिस्तान के लिए खराब है, राइट? अगर पूरा हम देखेंगे तो कौन सा रंग काला ज्यादा काला है ये परखना भी मुश्किल होगा.
And it is a classic जो इंग्लिश का वो होता है ना, pot calling the kettle black.
केटल ब्लैक. अभी बात यह है कि कौन पॉट है कौन केटल है ये हमें नहीं पता. ठीक है, ओके. हमने अभी तक जो डिस्कस किया है वो हमने डिस्कस किया ये क्यों हुआ है, इसका परिणाम क्या हो सकते हैं, और क्या कू हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता, और ऑप्शंस we have discussed whether Imran Khan would be in jail or not, or whatever. So let me take it. Where does it leave Pakistan as a whole? How do you see Pakistan over the next, say, 1 year period, next 2 year period, or even further?
I would, sir, the issue which I see starkly, that the government of the day is more worried about Punjab. KP and Sindh are also burning as much. Their concern is not as much for them
Yeah.
as for Punjab.
Yeah.
So which is going to antagonize the people of these regions further against the establishment. And is this the start of an implosion in Pakistan? If
So we are talking of an implosion.
sir, if the army is unable to control it, it will go into an implosion. ये तो ट्रिगर हो चुका है अभी, अगर कंट्रोल नहीं किया तो सिचुएशन हाथ से चला जाएगा.
So let me put something else in context. Why is it an implosion going to happen? Because politically, this is the worst situation I've seen Pakistan in. You have to add to the fact that they don't have water, they don't have food, they don't have the karobar nahi hai, poverty is going, levels are going up. As the political situation worsens, the dollar is going to touch 300 any day now. Today it is at 288. Yesterday or day before it was at 283. Yesterday morning.
Official figure, it must have gone past 300
No,
in the black market.
No, I'm talking of still official figures. Okay, on a comparative.
288, 288.5 that was the rate going down.
So that's going down. They're not going to get, the IMF is not going to give them money. So, right? So the situation is only going to go worse.
Sir, because actually I think we are a lot of people are making quite a lot about IMF money, because their own finance minister has said in the next 3 years they need about 77 to 80 billion dollars to pay interest on the loans and other bonds that are there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The IMF is going to give them 6 billion.
No, look, IMF is only a trigger. Yeah, that's all. So the point is that the implosion which you spoke of is going to be marked. It's going to get accelerated. Right? So you're going to see...
This is something I think the Pak army had not factored in. If I can't control, then how do I control the implosion?
How do I control the implosion? Right.
Today it is people versus the army. What stops it from going between province against province? Because when they say कि पंजाब पे आप कर रहे हो ध्यान, and कराची, सिंध और केपी को नहीं देख रहे.
So that new thing is, even that thing, even in the army, we are known of dissent.
Yes.
So even that is something which probably which can happen, and that will be a bigger implosion. Okay. So now when you say it is Sindh versus Punjab, okay, let me put something else in context and pick your brains. Today I was in a show, or live show on DD, with this chap Amjad Ayub Mirza, who's sitting in London. He keeps coming out with. He feels that Pakistan is already in a civil war. In fact, I said, they're not in a civil war because they're not two political oppositions and all that. He said, no, sir, they are already in a civil war ideologically. TTP versus the army, Baluch versus the rest. So there's already a civil war, and this will convert the political angle. So that's one part of civil war. And what you're saying, Sindh versus Punjab, could lead to
all eyes are people today. When I saw the Twitter and all, there is angst being said that while the government of the day is concentrating on Punjab, you have KP burning, you have Sindh burning. They're not concentrating on that. So that is coming out in Twitter. So that Twitter is curbed, but there are a lot of people who can still via VPN make use of Twitter.
Absolutely put on the dot. So what we are now looking at, it's a matter of semantics कि अगर हम उसको civil war बोले, या civil strife बोले, या civil unrest बोले. So
I would say, sir, in Pakistan, this kind of civil unrest or strife, it doesn't take much, because for the weapons to come out and go into a full-scale sort of a civil war.
So Pakistan is standing on the edge of an abyss. Okay. So there are
2009 में Ahmed Rashid ने लिखा था on Pakistan descent into chaos. Today it has descended into chaos and standing on the brink of a civil war. descending towards civil war, not descend into chaos. Descent into civil war now.
Yeah. So I have no doubt about what you're saying. So ये जो एक नया पहलू है, we have said why is it happened, इसका unintended outcomes क्या हैं, क्या coup हो सकता है, नहीं हो सकता है, क्या इमरान खान के साथ क्या होगा, और we have discussed 2-3 outcomes, और हमने अभी ये civil war और civil strife जो भी है इसका भी
There is a reason which I say, sir. Like
नहीं
I've seen in my times when we have come out in aid to civil authorities, taken columns. When people respect you, even then it takes a little while to calm the tempers.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You have to sit and talk to both factions and calm the tempers.
Yeah, I agree with you.
What do you do now when you have taken out the army in aid to civil war, aid to civil authorities, when the people are against you only? तो तुम्हारे कॉलम को ही पत्थर मारेंगे वो तो.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me give you my personal example. Punjab mein, I was a major those days, you know, when the Khalistani movement was at its peak. I used to go and sit in villages और उनके यूथ्स के साथ तो कलवर्ट्स के ऊपर बैठ के गुड़ चना खाते थे, उनके साथ बात करते थे, एंड यू नो पूछते थे भाई तुम्हारा क्या दिक्कत है, एंड ही दे यूज्ड टू वेरी नाइसली से सर आपके साथ हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं, इसीलिए तो आपको हम गुड़ चना खिला रहे हैं, पर हमारे प्रॉब्लम कुछ और है जो आप नहीं सॉल्व कर सकते हो, ठीक है. सो आई डोंट नो वेदर दिस आर्मी आई थिंक हैज लॉस्ट दैट टच, राइट. जैसे अभी हमारे देश में मणिपुर में हो रहा है, मणिपुर में प्रॉब्लम इज वेरी सिवियर. Those of you who have served, I mean, if you've been there in 2 days.
Yes.
And it's very severe if you understand what's happening in Manipur. In all this, the shining beacon there is the army and the Assam Rifles. Kyunki wo, the touch, the people are with you.
That's why they have been able to cool the tempers down so much.
So much. And in Manipur, it might not be in immediate control, but at least the loss of life and all has gone down. अभी तो ये शुरुआत है, देखेंगे आगे क्या होगा. जो फौज जो जनता अपने फौज के ऊपर पत्थर मार रही है तो फिर थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. और वो, and if you see the history of Pakistan, जब भी मार्शल लॉ हुआ लोगों ने वेलकम किया मार्शल लॉ.
Yes.
Right. तो ये है.
And today it's 180 degrees opposite. So,
right. I think
the problem I would say is, sir, that if you have read Harold Robbins, there's the novel Carpetbaggers. And in that there is a very pithy statement he makes. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And Pak army has been having absolute power in Pakistan for decades.
Right. So, and I think the people of Pakistan have realized
they're fed up.
Right. They're fed up. So we are looking at, I still remember when Nawaz Sharif was taken out and Musharraf was brought in, he took over. I remember an interview of the common man who told, I think in NDTV or one of those, good riddance to bad rubbish, we welcome the army. Today वो उल्टा हो रहा है. Right. Okay. Let's look at it beyond Pakistan. अभी तय है कि ये इंस्टेबिलिटी रहेगा. हो सकता है 2 से 10 साल तक इंस्टेबिलिटी होगा पाकिस्तान के अंदर, क्योंकि आर्थिक समस्या है और एग्रीकल्चरल समस्या है, इनका आबादी का समस्या है, क्लाइमेट चेंज का समस्या है, और उसके ऊपर जिस तरीके से ये इंस्टेबिलिटी हो रहा है ये तो होगा. तो इसका इंटरनेशनल रिपरकशंस क्या होगा? हाउ डू यू थिंक चाइना एंड यूएसए विल बिहेव? एंड कंसिडर कि वी हैड डिस्कस्ड विद ब्रिगेडियर अरुण सहगल that this is going to become a battleground state, and it is a battleground state.
I think it is already a battleground proxy war going on between.
I want to pick your mind on the fact that you're going to have instability. Both the superpowers have a common interest in saving it. and both the common superpowers have made it into a battleground state. Where do you see this going?
The problem is that both superpowers have the interest there, and both want to get rid of the other side, and hence that has becoming a battleground, and it becomes dicey because all other places where they made it a battleground, it's not a nuclear power. This is an unstable nuclear power, which is a big problem which will come to the region. That is point number one. Point number two is a sort of a domino effect of the people's movement, where here you find that the people have gone against the autocrat which they see is the army. And much of Central Asia are ruled by autocrats. And there are a lot of dissenters there. Will it spread there? Because it will solve the purpose of the US and the West, because it hits the underbelly of Russia, and it worries China because it's
Yeah.
on the immediate flank of Xinjiang. And so it is this domino effect which China is going to be most worried about. And I think that was the reason why, to take some control, they have promised connectivity with CPEC to Afghanistan.
So the domino if I may add, the domino will go through Afghanistan.
It will go to Afghanistan and go further up.
Yeah.
While Pakistan thinks the CPEC is not going, connectivity to Kabul is not going through Pakistan. It will go through the Wakhan corridor, Wakjir Pass, because all the build-up and everything is already done.
In fact, what I want to highlight what you have said with what I had a discussion with General KJ Singh when I discussed CPEC and Afghanistan and all that. He said, look, the biggest leverage Taliban has today is their ability to create terror. So the domino effect will go through that, and what you're saying is
they will be so worried. China, the other thing they are so worried is they have the borders now with Pakistan in illegal occupation of GB from there or through Wakhan corridor. If their ATM comes in, the trained manpower who have fought in Syria and other places, they come in, then what happens in Xinjiang? No, these are the impacts that, whereas America is far away, it doesn't affect him much. These issues doesn't affect him much, but it helps him to keep the area in boil.
Yeah, completely with you.
Right. So, and the only issue in this, I feel, is, are we in discussion with the US? Is the US discussing with us of how to neutralize the nuclear weapons?
हम अपने बारे में अभी बात करेंगे. तो आपने जो बोला है कि इंटरनेशनल इंटरेस्ट है वो डोमिनो इफेक्ट के ऊपर चलेगा. ये डोमिनो इफेक्ट क्या है कि भाई जब एक सिक्का गिरता है दूसरा भी गिरेगा, तीसरा गिरेगा, चौथा गिरेगा, पांचवा गिरेगा और ये जाके 10वां या 12वां सिक्का में फूटेगा. और डोमिनो इफेक्ट में कौन कौन से देश इफेक्ट हो सकते हैं? वो हो सकते हैं चाइना के सिंगियान रीजन, अफगानिस्तान के जरिए ही जाएगा पूरा इंस्टेबिलिटी, और ये जाएगा ये जो 5 स्थान है अपना. और याद रखिए कुछ ही दिन पहले कजाकिस्तान में गड़बड़ हुआ था इन मामलों में, ठीक है. और ये पाकिस्तान के अंदर ही 2-4 मूवमेंट हैं जो चल रहे हैं अभी, हमें सबको पता है. टीटीपी है, बलूच रिबल्स है, आपके पास सिंध में कुछ देयर आर सम टॉक, पर आपके पास ये पीटीएम है, वो आज तक शांति में है पर कल के दिन वो अशांत हो सकता है. और जीबी और पीओके में भी लोग खुश नहीं है. पंजाब के अलावा और कहीं खुश नहीं है पाकिस्तान के अंदर. पंजाब में भी वैसे खुश नहीं है, वो अलग बात है, बट पॉलिटिकली. तो अगर ये डोमिनो इफेक्ट और ये कलबली यहाँ ज्यादा हो गया और ये आर्म्ड मूवमेंट में चला गया, राइट, अगर इफ इट देयर इज आर्म्ड काइंड ऑफ ज्यादा हो गया तो ये बाहर भी फैलेगा, और ये बाहर फैलेगा तो चाइना को बहुत असर होगा, और यूएसए तो बहुत दूर है, राइट. और कुछ हद तक रशिया
रशिया,
रशिया
सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन रशिया का सॉफ्ट अंडरबेली है,
सॉफ्ट अंडरबेली है। और कुछ हद तक गल्फ में भी इंस्टेबिलिटी होगा, क्योंकि गल्फ में बहुत लोग पाकिस्तानी एक्सपैट्रिएट वहाँ हैं, राइट। अगर ये होगा तो एक और चीज मार्क आएगा जो पाकिस्तान को और धकेल देगा इनटू अ प्रॉब्लम। वो है ये जो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रेमिटेंस है वो बंद हो जाएगा, राइट। जो पाकिस्तान किस कगार में खड़ा है, वहां मेरे को जहां तक नजर आ रहा है अगले 5 से 10 साल तक अंधकार ही अंधकार नजर आ रहा है। हो सकता है कोई मेरे से सहमत हो या ना हो, पर अगर आप पूरा नजरिया से देखोगे तो इनका पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप अगले 1-2 साल तक स्तर नहीं हो सकता। अगर स्तर नहीं हो सकता तब तक आर्थिक स्थिति कम हो जाएगी, तब तक गुर्बत बढ़ जाएगी, पानी का किल्लत ज्यादा हो जाएगा, खाने का सामग्री का किल्लत ज्यादा हो जाएगा, माइग्रेशन शुरू हो जाएगा, आउटबोर्न माइग्रेशन, राइट। सो ऑल दिस प्रॉब्लम्स आर देयर। ओके, हमने क्या किया कि आज के दिन जनरल राजीव नारायणन और हमने पाकिस्तान को पूरा धकेल दिया खड्डे में, जिस खड्डे में ऑलरेडी वो है। ओके, ये अगर स्थिति पाकिस्तान के अंदर है तो हमारा क्या रवैया होना चाहिए?
सबसे पहले तो जब हम ब्लोबैक वगैरह का बात करते हैं, हमें अपने देश के अंदर और JNK और बाकी इलाके में भी सतर्क रहना पड़ेगा। दैट इज प्राइमरी हमारा मुद्दा ये है। तो 2-3 प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाते हैं। एक तो है, अगर लोग भागना शुरू हो जाते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा किल्लत होगी, तो काफ़ी लोग इंडिया में आने की कोशिश करेंगे क्योंकि कल्चर सिमिलर है। एंड कौन आ रहा है, किस तरह के लोग आ रहे हैं, इज़ अ प्रॉब्लम। सो देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ refugee problem which is going to come up in the region, whether it's coming into India, whether it is going into the Gulf। जो करने वाले हैं, एक रेफ्यूजी प्रॉब्लम आपके क्राइसिस सामने खड़ा है। सिक्योरिटी क्राइसिस आपका खड़ा हुआ है बिकॉज नॉन स्टेट एक्टर को इस्तेमाल करने के लिए कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उसको। इसका तो फौज और वो है, तो इसमें JEM और LAT वगैरह का ज़्यादा यूटिलाइजेशन नहीं है, HM JEM और LAT वगैरह का। तो वो इसको इस्तेमाल करने की कोशिश करेगा इंडिया में कि भाई हाँ, वो एटीट्यूड है ये पाकिस्तान के पंजाब प्रोविंस का कि हम तो डूबेंगे सनम, आपको भी ले
डूबेंगे। हाँ,
तो कुछ ना कुछ करने की कोशिश करेगा। So we need to be very careful. And the third, the biggest worry is the security of the nuclear arsenal. गलत हाथ में नहीं पड़ना चाहिए,
राइट।
या तो न्यूट्रलाइज करो या न्यूट्रलाइज कर दो। US आई है किसी के साथ।
We'll talk of the nuclear a little separately.
और security of the nuclear weapons is a very big issue which will come up.
Right.
Not only for the region, because Pakistan is the font of international terrorism, it is a threat to the world.
Yeah, that
who will use it where you don't know.
I think that nuclear issue would already be gripping China and
yes.
And USA
and even Russia, because it reached Central Asia also.
Yeah, I'll not touch upon it now. We'll get back to it. But what I want to touch on the first half. So we must expect, आपके मुताबिक कुछ ना कुछ वहां से, जैसे पुंछ और राजौरी में हुआ, जैसे आपने बोला, वो एक्सटर्नलाइज करने की कोशिश करेंगे। क्योंकि अगर मामला एक्सटर्नलाइज हो गया और हमने रिएक्ट कर दिया तो क्या है कि इट वो इमरजेंसी हो या मार्शल लॉ हो या PDM सपोर्ट हो, सब बोलेंगे देखो भारत हमारे ऊपर आक्रमण कर दिया, तो हम फिर the national mood will swing towards
if Bharat. I may add, sir, sorry to interrupt, this has been the standard toolkit.
ये इनका टूल किट है, जो हम बोलते हैं टूल किट। तो इनका टूल किट है कि भाई भारत का जो ये है शुरू हो जाओ, राइट। सो तो ये खतरा है, हमें थोड़ा सावधानी और संयम रखना चाहिए। सावधानी तो परखना चाहिए, संयम भी होना चाहिए। और we need to exhibit strategic patience in this, which is important, so that we don't go, we need not be hot-headed and reactive. We should be proactive. And one of the best ways of being proactive is to enhance your surveillance, enhance your monitoring, and see how you can prevent such incidents from happening. And the second, of course, if there's a refugee problem which is going to come up, right? And it might come up. We need to have
it will come up, sir, because economy तो revive होना नहीं है, पानी है नहीं, खाना पीना है नहीं, population as it is growing by the dozen. तो करेगा क्या? They will. There was a report that per quarter almost about, or per month I think, or per quarter about 2 lakh people are running away from Pakistan, youth, right, sir? So, but those who don't have that kind of money, what will they do?
What will they do? And we need to be very hard-headed about it and clear, and not let them enter our country, my way of looking at it. And maybe you could set up refugee camps on the other side of the border and handle them. And और बात यह है कि ये रेफ्यूजी सोचने वाली बात है कि कहाँ आएंगे, ये they'll not come across the desert. वो आएंगे तो नीचे आएंगे या ऊपर पंजाब के अंदर आएंगे, right? So we have to
through the sea, sir, because the fence is there, you electrify it, they may not try to come, but
sea
के through आ जाएंगे, sir.
नहीं, sea is one, कितने लोग sea के through आएंगे, but they'll come, so you might have to organize something along the fence. Okay, उन्हीं के देश में उनको खाना पीना दे दो, कैंप दे दो, सब कुछ दे दो. So we have to have a क्या बोलते हैं उसको, multi-directional approach to them to handle this whole situation. We should be ready for a humanitarian crisis, the way I look at it, and simultaneously handle the security situation. Yeah. And the new business, जैसे आपने बताया, we monitor. Again, इसमें भी I don't think we can do anything. We should not do anything direct. Better to do it
not direct, indirectly through. That's why I said in talks with US and others, IAEA, UN.
Yeah.
Essentially, what they decide is different. Our concern is more to ensure the security of the nuclear assets.
Yeah,
that it should not fall into wrong hands.
Yeah. So have we covered the entire mosaic of the dealings?
आपने जो 10 साल बोला, you are being optimistic. Because the reason I'm saying is they have to get some expert people to sit and structure their economic model, governance model. They can keep searching, essentially the economic model, because since its independence they have been a rentier state. मतलब ये अपने जगह का इस्तेमाल करके उधार लेते रहे हैं, उधार कभी दिया नहीं है. आज सडनली इनको पता लग रहा है कि उनका जो जगह था उसको लोग खंडहर समझते हैं और पैसे देने के लिए तैयार नहीं. अब पैसे नहीं आ रहे और जो दिया था पहले वो वापस लोन मार रहे हैं किस्तों के साथ, अपने इंटरेस्ट के साथ, और इनको देने की काबिलियत है ही नहीं.
ये पाकिस्तान ने किसी को वापस नहीं दिया.
क्रेडिट कार्ड जैसे यूज किया था कि अभी एक से ले लिया क्रेडिट कार्ड, दूसरे से ले लिया, तीसरे से ले लिया, तो वो स्ट्रक्चर काम नहीं चलता ना. अभी भी वही स्ट्रक्चर चला रहे. इन्हें दुनिया में मैंने ऐसा देश नहीं देखा है, भिखमंगा देश, पार्डन माय सेइंग, अगर कोई पाकिस्तान से सुन रहा है, कि 23 दफा आप भीख मांगते हो गए हो IMF के पास, 1 या 2 दफा कोई देश जाता है और फिर अपना घर सुधार लेता है कि मेरे को बार बार नहीं जाना है, बिकॉज उसको मन में चुभता है कि मैं भीख मांग रहा हूं. आप एक देश है जो 23 दफा जा चुके हैं और आंखें दिखाते हैं जब पैसे नहीं मिलते हैं, तो भिखारी होते हुए आंखें दिखा रहे हैं, पैसे नहीं मिलते.
देखिए, ये मजे की बात तो ये है कि ये बोलते हैं कि भाई हम आपके साथ बात करेंगे और सब कुछ करेंगे और आपके साथ हमें सहायता चाहिए, पर सहायता तभी लेंगे जब आर्टिकल 370 को आप खारिज करोगे. सो तो बेवकूफ है. एनीवे, आई थिंक वी हैव कवर्ड द होल.
जब तक ये स्ट्रक्चर ठीक नहीं होगा ये देश का कुछ सुधर नहीं पाएगा.
ओके, एनीवे, तो पाकिस्तान को फिलहाल ऐसे छोड़ देते हैं आज के दिन, एंड विल टेक सम क्वेश्चंस, क्योंकि राइट, एंड विल बी एबल टू टेक सम क्वेश्चंस, राइट. एहसान, Ashan says, Jayan sir, in my humble opinion, at the very minimum, they will slide back down the slope towards getting back to the FATF grey list again, and it might think more difficult for them to get the IMF bailouts. Your opinion? Yeah, yours.
So, uh, with the knocking off of that Khalistani chap, which they kept telling is not there, it is evident that is one tick in the block for going back into grey list. अब मेरा ये है, ग्रे लिस्ट हो चाहे नहीं हो,
It doesn't
अभी
matter.
इस तरह से जो टर्मोइल हो रहा है, ये जून में तो इनका डिफॉल्ट होगा, अनलेस चाइना या गल्फ कुछ दे दे कि बचाने के लिए डिफॉल्ट, नहीं तो डिफॉल्ट हो रहा है. और आई डोंट सी IMF बेल-आउट कमिंग इन अ हरी टिल दे डोंट स्टेबलाइज द सिचुएशन. और स्टेबलाइजेशन ऑफ सिचुएशन तो इतना जल्दी, जन साहब ने भी बताया, इतना जल्दी होने नहीं वाला है, समय लगता है. You know, the moment you have taken the genie out of the bottle, it's very difficult to put it back inside. It's not easy. And when the genie is actually fighting you, it's not the good genie of 3 wishes, le lo, my lord. No. वो दिन गए. Now the genie is out of the bottle to fight you and kill you. So,
इसीलिए देखिए, ओके, मैं आपको इसीलिए ये जीनी दिखाया. जीनी
और वो ह्यूमन बॉम्ब है,
इसीलिए हमने ये दिखाया. ठीक है, याद रखिए, हम एक तरफा सोचते हैं कि टाइप. राइट. ओके, राइट. ओके, Uday Perry, thanks a lot for this generosity, and we'll take some more questions. Again, Ishan comes up and says, sir, do you believe that the Pakistani deep state might now be regretting having stopped the peace process initiated between our late PM Vajpayee and Nawaz Sharif? The Pakistani caused it to fail due to their own stupidity.
You're right, San. It's much water has flown in the Indus now. Like I always say in life, you can't drive forward looking at the rearview mirror. जो हो गया सो हो गया. अब कहाँ है? I feel they have painted themselves into a corner now, or both sides, और आपस में लड़ रहे हैं. It's not because that if the army goes back into the barracks and Imran Khan comes, that he has some wonderful way of solving the problem of that. He had 4 years, he did nothing. So what is the Naya Pakistan? I personally feel Naya Pakistan, what he's looking at as a Sharia Pakistan. And what the army wants is the Musharraf's mask of moderate Islam. I say a mask because behind that they are the font of terrorism. So it is actually a fight of these two ideologies, having Sharia or doing everything what Sharia is saying with a mask of moderate Islam. That is the fight.
मैं आपको ऐड नहीं करूंगा जो इन्होंने बोला है जनरल साहब ने. सिर्फ मैं ये आई विल रिक्वेस्ट यू, ये जो रेडिकलाइजेशन का जो हमने किया था विद मिस्टर संजय दीक्षित, राइट, उस सीरीज में, पाकिस्तान सीरीज में, आप कृपया उसमें देखिए कि किस तरीके से पाकिस्तान का रेडिकलाइजेशन हो गया और किस हद तक हो गया. उसमें हमने बड़ा विस्तार में हमने बताया. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन भी ईशान का है. डू यू बिलीव दैट द Baluchistanis and the other freedom fighters can get enough critical mass to exploit this situation in the near future?
Ehsan, chances are there, but let's see how it opens out, because it's too early to predict which way this will go. What happens, which way this will go, it's too early to predict. But yes, the Baluchis do have an option. The KP has an option. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa people, the Pashtun, PTM, PTI, TTP, they all have the option to do something. So let's see how it pans out. This is a situation I don't think you can predict, because this is something which has never been faced by any country.
Yeah. Okay, next question is from Vamred. Sirs, do you see balkanization of Pakistan, or will it exist like Somalia? Your opinion on the radical elements from Afghanistan and Pakistan creating trouble in India?
We have spoken a lot on all these issues: Balkanization, Lebanonization, Somaliaization. There are various things. Like I said, you can't predict at the moment. They are at the brink of implosion. Will it implode? Will it go into a civil war? How will that pan out? As far as the radical elements of Afghanistan are concerned, as yet we have never seen the footprint, The Taliban has sent no footprint of theirs into J&K. But yes, like I mentioned during our talk, we were discussing that this doesn't involve HM, JEM, LET who are operating in J&K. So they will try to do something in J&K. Rest of India, we have got to be careful. We are careful, but J&K is one state where they could do small things, or if the thing is going out of hand, they might try to do something spectacular there,
Yeah,
just to invoke a response from us. So that is what we've got to be careful about, Jane.
I agree with you. Uh, okay, one more question from Amrad. Do you believe Pakistan can de-radicalize ever?
Wamred, this radicalization started under Zia when in 85, 86 he changed the education, and this is what he has been teaching. Now it is 37 years, people have been studying this. So you can imagine a chap who went to school at 6 years of age, he's in his 40s. So all those 20s, 30s, 40s who are there on the street, this is what they have educated him. If you want a change, it will take many generational shifts. The whole education system has to be changed. And then 30 years down the line, 40 years down the line, you may find that the radical people in the society reduce. I'm using the word reduce because it's very easy to get radicalized on the net. You have
Yeah,
educated people, engineers and doctors who get radicalized. So it is very easy to get radicalized on the net. But if your education system, then 30, 40 years down the line, you will be able to do it. Without that, don't even think about de-radicalization. He doesn't know anything else. बचपन से तो आपने यही सिखाया उसको.
right. Okay. What is the situation in POK and Gilgit-Baltistan? Can we help the revolting people and form an organization like Multi-Bahman? Let me answer this. Look, the situation in POK and Gilgit-Baltistan is not as bad as we think. In fact, Gilgit-Baltistan wants to become a state of Pakistan. Okay, they have some problems. For them to get to the situation of being revolting and forming an organization is a little far away. Right? Let's not live in from this thing. Let the situation develop.
I would only add, sir, what you're saying. Whatever you're looking at doing things, these things don't happen in a hurry.
Yeah.
It's
Next
a
question.
plan what you got to do.
Yeah, ask both generals, BRI, CPC 1, 2, etc. Uti Mudiade Erakka Tiache. Any chance with Ganga Jal, Punyan? Oh, I don't think so. Nothing will happen. Don't worry. This is going to continue this way only. Okay. Right. Most of
I would
them.
only state to him that if he gets up a gum tree and nothing comes from the US and the West, he may sell some land as part of CPEC 2, which the army is already asking for corporate farming, by the way, and give it to the Chinese to get money or some loan to be written off or some money to come.
Yeah.
That could happen.
Okay. The current Pakistani ecosystem resembles a gasoline-soaked incendiary. How can this be lit? What tender can we use to ignite it? अरे
I
भाई वो
would only
खुद
say they have already started that.
वो हम क्यों करें यार?
They have already started that. Na? They have lit the fuse, and suddenly people are in the street. The fuse jal chuka hai.
Okay. Do you think this will lead to somewhat radical change in Pakistan? How should we take advantage of it?
Radical change ho nahi sakta because people are too radicalized down the line.
Yeah.
That is all I'll say. That
Yeah,
the
we don't
bulk
look
of the youth, it has a youth bulge, and the bulk of the youth are radicalized. So,
yeah.
but
Okay, next question. Is it possible that Pak military has used the turmoil to finally get in power directly in Pak? The statement today made by ISSR, Section 144 mobilization in Islamabad, etc.
Section 144 failed. That is why aid to civil authority was called. In fact, Section 144 has failed in all provinces.
Yeah.
POK is not on fire.
Yeah.
POK is not on fire. The rest of the states provinces are on fire. That is already there.
Okay, then I do not see a coup as an outcome as the military and government are on the same page. It is the opposition party that is causing unrest. Could middle ranks say colonels try to take out the higher echelon? That's the coup we are talking of. If there's a coup which is there, which is in the air, let me tell you that
Yeah.
if the lower ranks are not fed, or it could be a colonel's coup. That typically which is what is called.
There was a chatter
Uh,
yesterday that
yeah,
Munir had been removed and that
yeah,
the
yeah,
chief
yeah. All
of
these will
defense
come.
staff is
You'll have a lot of rumors flowing. So okay, okay, right. Let me see. There's a lot of comments. Okay, let's. Saibal Roy says, "Sir, do you think all the people who came out on streets and is because of Imran, or is it also because of the economic situation? They just need a trigger. It's a
yeah. It's
all of the above
combination of
type.
both. Because the
All of
PTI
the
came
above.
out in his call and the others came out due to the economic situation. It was the
Yeah,
last straw, you can say, on the camel's back.
yeah. It's a combination. You see, a lot of people are fed up of what their own system is and their own setup is. Okay, uh, right. What did the Chinese FM state? Pakistan needs political stability. This is the first step towards establishing political stability by Paki army. Take it that Imran is out of politics of Pakistan. Well, that's your opinion. Let's see where it goes. So, what can the creditors do if they refuse to pay the interest, leave alone the principal? They'll take land. As simple as that. Who are the creditors? China.
China will take the land.
Okay. Nothing will happen.
And the biggest problem for Pakistan is that, as far as the US is concerned, if they say no to IMF, all their accounts in the West will be frozen.
Yeah.
Deep state.
Khatam.
They lose a lot of money,
Yeah.
and it
So,
comes in thousands of crores.
how do you think China and US trying to leverage Pakistan will affect its default economic recovery? Is it possible that debt is too much figure and that it is not worth for them to save it? Yeah, that's what we said. Pakistan and China will both try to save Pakistan. USA and
US,
China will try to save Pakistan. But all this is feasible to a particular level. Beyond that, it is the people's will which will carry out. People. Look, all of us are funny people, right? I mean, people are funny. People have their own views. You've not lived through the times we've lived through. Some of you might have. If you go back into 70s, 77, I remember the time when the Janta government came, right? People just voted the Janta government with a huge majority, and that's a different thing how they behave. So people have their own ways of dealing with this thing.
and then
So
when they were very unhappy with what the Janta did, they brought in
they
their
put
Madam
in,
Gandhi back to power in 80.
yeah. So things happen in ways we really can't fathom, right? And I think the Pakistani people going forth will have a lot to say. Will have a lot to say which they have not said for the past 75 years. Okay, so I think there's going to be a lot of action in this. That this is just a, मैं सबको बताना चाहता हूँ ये एक पहल है, राइट? ये देखिए 2-3 दिन के बाद दोबारा आएंगे, हम दोबारा बात करेंगे कि यहाँ हो क्या रहा है. Okay, is there any truth that IK would lead to a Sharia state? He never asked for it. Well, yeah, your take.
See, I will only say that
Uh,
when he was in KP, what was his name? Taliban Khan.
Taliban Khan.
What does Taliban want? Sharia.
Mm,
When he came to power, he was under the pressure from the army. He was placed there by the army. Army doesn't want Sharia.
mm,
And what did he do? He tried to antagonize and become too big for the army. See, immediately, how does he say, I want Sharia? The day he would have said Sharia, they would have eliminated him that time. And that time he was nothing. Today he's built up a following now that he's coming up, and army is finding it a bit too difficult to handle.
handle him. right? China is very strictly monitoring that region. Do you still think that Pakistan followed can affect China? It will. Don't have any doubts about it. Okay. Pak army heavy-handedness will crack down any negative situation and people will flee the country. Yes, we've spoken about it, so we'll leave it at that. I think, mm, right. Okay, this is a different thing. Bhakti Kulkarni says, are we going to take any action on Indus Water Treaty under such? This is the worst time to talk of it. I wouldn't say worst time. This is not the opportune time to talk of it. This is the time to just cool, be
See,
patient,
my
patient.
only submission in this is that as per the Indus Water Treaty, whatever we were going to talk was to permit the through flow dams that we are going to make. Otherwise, also we are not utilizing all the water that has been allocated to us.
Yeah.
So
So
let
we'll
us
leave it
look
at
at
that.
ways and means to utilize actually the water that has been given to us and ensure nothing goes into Pakistan.
Yeah, you see that even for that to happen, I must put it across to everyone that it is so far politically not feasible in India to do it. Okay, and it needs a lot of investment which we don't have. So
Yes.
keep
So that is
we
the
keep
problem.
talking.
So we need to be very clear कि अभी इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी बोलते हैं पढ़ लो एंड समझ लो कि है क्या
क्या है क्या? The problem is with us, not with them.
not
Okay, is it right time to take back POK? Will Park disintegrate? It's not the right time
not
to
so
take back
soon in a
anything.
hurry and not not the
वो
right
जब
time and not so soon in a hurry लेके
no,
करोगे क्या
क्या करोगे? You will get bloody four. You will get 4 million Muslims. Are you prepared to take them on?
out of which how many of them are militants and terrorists you
Militant.
don't know.
So we don't know. So we have to be careful and go slow on this. Okay, and thing, right? Okay. Then you a name Divyang Shukla. Can rural Sindh team up with Pathan immigrant and rise up against the Pakistan army? यार जिस तरीके से वहाँ हो रहा है ना कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Sindh is burning here. Karachi
हाँ,
is burning.
burning, right? Dipen Kumar says, do you think NATO will get further more weaponry support for? Oh, we'll not talk of it now. Dipen, when we talk of NATO and Ukraine, we'll talk of it. Vikram says, sir, video has surfaced out of a unit commandos and colonels came out crying, protested to section of park army jawans about. ये सब होता रहेगा. Don't. This is all
आज
right.
के एआई के दिन में पता भी नहीं लगता कि सच है कि गलत है किसका सर
Yeah,
किसके ऊपर
yeah,
डाल
yeah,
दिया.
yeah. Okay. Okay, that gets me. Okay, new name. Is Pakistan heading towards a nation that will be ruled by the army like a military coup? Bhamit, we explained all this.
But
There are
Amit,
states.
I would say the day Iskandar Mirza was overthrown, from that day onwards, Pakistan has been ruled by the army either from the front or from the back.
Yeah.
Democracy in Pakistan is a facade. It never had
Yeah.
democracy.
Okay.
It had selected governments, not elected governments.
Yeah. Right. So we've gone through a whole lot of questions. I think I've answered most of the questions, right? By most. Some questions are left out. Some a lot of comments. I'm thankful that आप लोगों ने इतना comment दिया. It was a great discussion we've had.
Thank you, sir.
Someone said, let the other one speak. ये वो. Look, this is a discussion. We've structured it like a discussion, right? So this is not an interview or something. We thought we'll have. We'll leave it at that. We'll come back after 2-3 days. Let the situation develop, and then we'll talk. Till then, all of you, please like Gunner Shot. Press the bell icon for this show, at least, and give it to all your friends because we covered a whole lot of topics, and I know for sure no one else has covered it the way we've covered it so far. Okay. And he says, sir, when will you have your 10K? I'll have my
Very
10K
soon.
when 10K is 10,000 subscribers. I'll have my 10K when all of you join in together and help me out. Okay. So, okay, last question. Is Munir going to purge the pro Imran faction? At this point, anything can happen. So we'll leave it at that. too premature. We're just 24 hours into this event. आगे देखो क्या क्या होता है, और like good old धर्मेंद्र जी used to say, ड्रामा अभी बाकी है. Right? Yeah, and help me reach the 10K mark, and then of course we'll see further. Okay. With this, thanks a lot.
I would say पिक्चर तो अभी शुरू हुआ है.
शुरू हुआ है.
हम तो एंडिंग की बात कर रहे हैं. पिक्चर तो अभी शुरू हुआ है और उसमें हम बोल रहे हैं क्या ऑप्शंस है एंडिंग के लिए. आप तो एंडिंग की बात कर रहे हो अभी से.
We will go there. Don't worry.
कुछ ही सीन्स हुए शुरू के.
Yeah. Right. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot to General Rajiv Narayanan. He came in, at short notice. We'll take it up again, Rajiv. Maybe on 14th, if you're free, we can. Sunday, we'll take a review again.
I'll just see, sir, because.
So okay, देखो, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. If you can, we'll do it. Otherwise, we'll take it up. There's no hurry. Right? पाकिस्तान कहीं नहीं जाएगा. ये सब कहीं नहीं जाएंगे.
सिचुएशन तो भी रहेगा, हमारे बगल में ही रहेगा.
And right, okay. Thanks a lot. Good evening and Jai Hind to all.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.